And a very good afternoon. You're welcome to the Kerry Garden Show. We're here at Boyles in Killorglin, and it's John Drummy standing in for Alan Finn one more time. And it is after Easter. We had a heat wave over the Easter weekend in most parts of Kerry, which was fantastic. Don't have a colour to go with it. But anyway, Miguel, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you, John?
I'm very good, thank you. We are now into April, and it's funny, it's just over a month since you and I last met. It was the first one of the season. The season is moving along quite quickly. Is it time to start looking at fruit and veg?
Yes, time flies. And a few weeks ago it was short days, very cold. Now everything is you can smell the spring here.
Exactly. You can say there's a grand stretch in the evenings now, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a few things here to talk about. It's all grow your own today. Mm-hmm. You know that if you go to a supermarket and you buy a tomato, it's flavorless, or peppers or anything you buy are varieties that are not designed but selected to have a long life in shelves, and they are not the most spectacular flavor.
Yeah.
So it's better grow your own if you can. It's very rewarding, it's very exciting, and you have your own fruit. And if you have grown a tomato in your house, even the worst tomato, the flavor compared to the ones you find in the supermarket is just a huge difference. So,
and how is that? Why is that?
Because these varieties selected, they call it, I will be literally translating from Spanish, it will be long life tomatoes. So those tomatoes can be in cold chambers for months and months without losing any of their properties. And then they can stay in the shelves in the supermarket or in your house for another couple months or a month easily before they deteriorate.
Oh.
The problem for us is the logistics in Ireland. Is when it's not season for growing tomatoes here in Ireland, you have to import them from somewhere. And for the supermarkets, having that cold chambers full of tomatoes give them a peace of mind. But the flavor is zero.
You're sacrificing flavor, obviously,
exactly.
for longevity.
Yeah. So what we grow is not. It won't last in a cold chamber. It won't last in your house. But the flavor is awesome. It's amazing, and you can add nutrients to make that to increase that flavor. So we're gonna try to give you a few hints on how to do it, when to do it, and we're gonna start with something don't think it's a vegetable. I don't know if it's a fruit, it's a berry.
It's delicious anyway.
It's delicious anyway. It's strawberries, okay?
Yeah.
So strawberries, it's a curious plant because it's a very hardy. I don't know, I should ask people if they keep them from one year to another. But in fact, you should take the new buds, the new flower in the first season to increase the runners, to make the runners go larger, and next year you have a spectacular crop. So it's a curious plant. It will be losing some leaves in the winter, if not all of them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they are not doing their job underneath. And they are growing, and they are the roots, and then they start in the spring, they start very nice. So we have here an El Santa and a Cambridge Blue. It's two types of strawberries, one that has runners. Mm-hmm. If you're planting strawberries with runners, you should give them 1.5 to 2 feet apart
Before the next one goes in.
While if they are not runner producers, it should be around 6 inches between them.
Right.
The good thing of the runners is that you can, once the runner is working and they develop their own roots, you can cut that runner, put it in a pot, and you'll have a new strawberry plant. You can put it somewhere else. You can expect crops, depending on the variety, from mid-June to mid-July, 1 month of heavy crop. Depending on the variety, will be a little bit earlier, a little bit later. They like really rich soils. They need loads of food. They grow very fast. And the big problem with the strawberries is the birds.
Yeah.
The birds. and the birds won't share with you, all right? You will be willing to share with them a little bit, 10% of your crop. They won't. They will eat it all.
So while we have our friend here, this is trays. We need a net.
You're gonna need
Trays and a net. There are two friends for today, really.
Unless you live in a big city with less birds, I don't know, Cork or Dublin city, but here around Kerry, it's probably 2 or 3 times more birds.
Yeah, we had a neighbour, God rest her, she's no longer with us, many moons ago, and the nets weren't for the birds at all. They were for the likes of us, who were sneaking in and stealing strawberries and having a bit of a feast. So, yeah.
You were blaming the birds.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You have to destroy a few strawberries and leave them there. So
it was the birds did it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're talking about, you can plant them now though, yeah?
You can plant them now in the spring, or you can plant them in autumn.
You can plant them in the autumn?
You can plant them in the autumn as well, but you won't find them in the market.
Right.
You won't find them here. They will be gone in a couple of weeks or 3 weeks. You won't find them. We won't find them in our suppliers. You won't find them in the market unless you find them in a farmer's market or small market in a small town or something like that. They have, like everything, they have their commercial time frame. So once that commercial time frame is gone, even if it's good for them to plant them, they will be getting ready for next spring. They will start with plenty of strength if you plant them in autumn.
Yeah.
But you won't find them.
Because you see on the side of the road, people selling them on the side of the road with their little stalls, but usually Wexford, and you associate that with the sunny southeast. Here we are in the rain-sodden southwest.
We actually need, in a perfect world, we will be talking about 8 hours of full sun to make them. So the thing is that the more sun they get, the more sugary, the more tasty they get. If you have a rainy, not sunny spot, you'll be growing strawberries, tasteless strawberries with plenty of water, no sugar.
Okay.
So the sun increases the production of sugar. So in a perfect world, 8 hours of sun, that's something you're not going to get here.
Certainly not.
Not even in Wexford or Waterford, no.
You're lucky if you get 8 minutes, never mind 8 hours.
You actually get a very, very decent crops.
Yeah. With
a very decent flavor. Again, what we get here is Spanish strawberries or Irish strawberries, and you can grow your own strawberries at the same level of taste or even higher, because you can add more potash, you can add more salts to increase the flavor.
So 1.5 foot, you're saying roughly for a runner, about 6 inches if it's just a single
Normally
plant.
what we sell, what you find is runner types. So give them 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet between them.
And a net.
And a net when when the strawberries are getting red. That will keep, hopefully, the birds out of them. It's like cherries. Cherries, birds like them, you need to cover them with a net. And then we have plenty of different types of vegetables. We're going to start with the quick ones.
Yeah, it's very green in front of me here, obviously, because that's the time of year, and green will grow.
So we have a few different types of vegetables, and what we're going to say is for the quickness of the crop, the harvest, all right? So we have spinach, lettuce, for example, that will have 2 months from seed to harvest.
Is that all?
Is that all?
That's very quick.
So it's no excuse for anybody to grow your own, because they don't need much space. Lettuce can be grown in pots.
And it can be done outdoors?
Yeah,
completely outdoors. You don't need a greenhouse or anything.
I would say always germinate them indoors. Always.
Right.
For a reason. Not only they will be better in terms of temperature for start germination, but it's also for controlling them. It won't be any caterpillars, any slugs, any snails in your windowsill. So when they have, in this case, lettuce, 4 to 6 pair of leaves, you can transplant them outside without any problem.
And that would take how long? How many days?
A couple of weeks.
Is that all?
3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
As soon as they germinate,
Because I'm looking at just the ones that we're looking for people in.
Germinating in about a week, 10 days.
The ones in Radioland, I'm looking at these now. They have a few leaves on them. They're nearly ready to go out.
So they
Are they?
germinate in 10 days, 2 weeks, and then in another 2 weeks they should be ready to go out. And in a month and a half or a month and a week, you should be able to harvest. See, lettuce, you have to constantly. It's 2 types of lettuce. Well, there's plenty of types,
Yeah.
but it's leaf. We'll put it in an easy way: leaf lettuce and head lettuce.
Yeah.
So head lettuce, when the head is ready, you have to crop it. You could have 3 to 4 heads per season.
Does it grow as a kind of a head ball on the top, is it?
Like a cabbage style, like a ball.
And it kind of leaves around it then, yeah. Okay.
You have to crop that ground level.
Yeah.
And another one will be coming. You're gonna have 2, 3, 4 heads per lettuce.
Wow.
If you don't crop and the leaves, you need to be cropping constantly. If you don't do it, it will start producing flowers. Flowers will be ruining the plant.
Gotcha.
So you have to. It's not that you can eat a few leaves today and
leave it
for a couple of weeks. No, you have to be constantly.
Keep taking it. So plenty of salads. That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
They need very moist soil, not wet, not waterlogged, but moist.
Yeah.
Their roots grow very shallow, so they're very good for raised beds, for pots, for all this space with low depth.
Yeah.
Same with spinach. Some lettuces, we don't have them here. Some lettuces, they should be ready in a month. The ones we have here, they will be ready in about 2 months. But to give you an idea of what you can grow. Spinach, the same. And then you go spinach around 2 months. Then you go to medium vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, courgette, beans that in 2 months, in 3-4 months, they are ready. 3 to 5 months. Carrots, 5 months. Cucumbers, tomato, 3 months.
Okay.
In 3 months since you sow them, you should start.
So it's possible to have a kind of a full cycle of a conveyor belt of food, really.
If you're into cabbage or if you're into lettuce, you should start separating crops and sowing all spring, all summer long. And things like kale you can harvest even in February. If you go and sow kale in June, you will be harvesting in the middle of the winter. That brings us to outdoors, polytunnel. So these plants, they can be mostly all grown outdoors. I wouldn't grow outdoors the cucumbers or the courgette unless it's a sunny, very sheltered and sunny spot.
Okay.
Even so, it's better for them. They are tender and they will be better in a polytunnel. But you can grow definitely a cherry tomato outside. Doesn't necessarily need to be inside a tunnel. I wouldn't recommend large beef unless it's a very
I remember being in Italy once and you just saw big, huge, beefy tomatoes all along the road. Just briefly, I know because we're nearly out of time, you need to plant, you need seeds, I suppose, to set the ball rolling. Is that right?
Well, you need seeds or you need trays. If you go for seeds, I would recommend you always to read the labels, to read the instructions, because especially the depth is very important. They need to be at the right depth because they need to struggle a little bit. They need to struggle till they get the surface to create those roots, but they don't need to be very deep. They won't grow. They won't have the strength to get out. So it's very important to see
what it says.
To do a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Because some of them they will be 1 centimeter. Some of them they will be just surface, like I don't know, parsley.
Yeah.
Some of them they need to be to 1 inch.
There's loads there. For more information, call to you.
Yes.
That would be the best thing. Come out here to Boyles in Killorglin. We're out of time. Thank you very much indeed, Miguel. Back again next weekend.
Thank you.
Lacoon of Day. And for me, John Drummy, have yourselves a very good rest of your weekend.